Welcome back. How much should I eat by the Guilt Free Health Coach? This came up online. How much should I be eating? I've tried those calculators, but I'd rather a real person tell me than to trust a website. Click like if that's something you can relate to. What happens? You go online, you're trying to find information, you'll find all kinds of calculators, confusing information, some misinformation, and a ton of all or nothing diets that might not work for you. So let's break those down a little bit. Welcome. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. Realistic focus is a big part of the guilt free framework, and that's how I'm operating. So making sure you have the right targets makes a difference. And what I found in my studies and my experience as a former public health professional is that usually, and just knowing things like sticking to your plan of what you intend to eat is usually a bigger issue than how much. Let me know if that's something you can relate to because that's a big challenge. Is not just about the volume, and that's actually a core element of the full plate sessions that I've recorded. That it's not the question is how are you eating enough to lose weight, right? And a lot of people think they had to cut back on all their food and eat nothing, skip breakfast, and do all kinds of things to eat less food. When really it's just about eating fewer calories. There's a few different ways to do that, but the big thing is not going crazy on some junk food that you ended up at the last second eating because you haven't planned accordingly. So usually it's an issue of what to eat instead of how much to eat. We know if this makes sense so far because what we want to do, what I want you to do, if you're into a focus on the basics, and that's basically eating less obvious junk food and then increasing your fruits and vegetables like you're meant to be doing, and then drinking more water, making water your primary drink. If you do these three things and you're trying to correct your diet, you're going to get results. All right. So when I said that, this person responded, make sure I'm getting all of my healthy nutrients loosely based on the total daily energy expenditure calculator, but don't go too hard on the calculations, right? So should I really focus on the calories or should I focus more on what to eat? And then I kind of went on a rant talking about food is meant to be a natural part of our lives, right? So we don't need all of these calorie calculations. They can be effective, but we want to make sure that food is a natural part of our lives and our everyday lifestyle choices. I made a video about that recently talking about recognizing you are making these food choices every day. So you want to make sure they support your life. How does your health support your life? Is something I say often. All right. So when you're trying to make food a natural part of your life or trying to understand it as that, then it's very crucial to learn how you make food choices in different environments throughout the day, right? And you see a commercial, does that instantly make you order a pizza? Or if you're hungry, you walk by a candy dish, you automatically get a few chocolates. Those things contribute to your overall weight change. So you want to pay attention to this. And it takes resources and skill to navigate environments with food and the food and the environments as well. It's not something that you're automatically born knowing. It's just one of those things where you see things, you know, they taste good, you want to eat them. So you have to know how to maneuver through life, yeah, and to move right in order to not overeat and make sure you're making the right food selections. And this is a big problem. This is a systemic problem. Nutrition education is not very good wholesale, right? You don't even really have to take a class. Maybe you took something in high school. So people don't learn as much as they should when they're a child. Then they have to spend the rest of their lives trying to guess and repair their health habits, right? Like those first 20 years where you are figuring it out, you get some food rules from your parents, a general understanding of like maybe I should eat some fruits and veggies, but then you don't really like vegetables. So you don't like how your parents cooked them or something. Not my parents, but like your parents, right? Then you have issues. You can establish bad habits or habits that will contribute to weight gain. And then you spend like your mid 20s to like your 70s trying to lose weight because you didn't get a good foundation. So that's why I have the full plate sessions linked below just to get that out. And what happens is when people try to lose weight after having an unsteady foundation, they can obsess over the scale weight, body image can be a big thing. Comparing yourself to social media, edited photos, supermodels, like all kinds of challenges. And these are things that really bother me because food and health and fitness, all this stuff is a natural part of life. And you don't want these things to cause you to, feel bad about yourself or reduce your confidence, make you feel like you're not good enough. And it's like a social ill that destroys quality of life when people are over focused on the wrong things, like restrictive diets, all or nothing diets, buying supplements they don't understand, the misinformation that's out there. And this is a big thing for me. So, what I want to do is teach you, dear viewer, to be deliberate with your food choices so you understand how your health supports your life, how your food fits into everything that you're doing. And so, what I've done, I've linked the flexible food game plan below. Now, this is something I've had for a while, but I just made it a little more accessible so you can get it. Here's how it works. Let's pull it up here. That's what it looks like. It's kind of like a 28-day challenge. You can do it as long as you'd like because it's a really good framework for long lasting health effects. And this is basically how it goes: 6 times per week, you're eating 3+ servings of fruits and veggies per day, drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water 6 times or more per week. And then on the other side, 3 or fewer meals per week with some of those obvious junk foods that I was mentioning earlier: sweetened drinks, fried foods, bacon, chips, desserts, and candy, 70% except 70% dark chocolate. And then also writing alcoholic beverages if you're drinking those. So this is a really good way to establish mindfulness about your food choices. Look for ingredients and what's in there. And then you start to understand, like, planning your week to build confidence. So when you are saying something like, I want to lose weight, what are you actually doing to make that happen? Are you actually sticking to the plan that's clearly delineated? You know what you're doing, you have realistic focus, that kind of thing. So I'll break this down a little bit more, but that's an overview of the flexible food game plan. Instead of focusing on how much should I eat, because it's going to be hard to tell. It depends on a lot of factors: your physical activity level, um, your size, your height, weight, all that stuff. And then you got to do math to track your calories, and you're supposed to be weighing your food to make sure you're getting the right proportion of however many calories in that serving. It's all complicated. This flexible food game plan makes it really simple just to understand, like, okay, these are foods I know. Like, cookies are not really a health food. Even a healthy cookie, you got questions about it, right? Or bacon, right? You don't want to go too hard on the bacon. So this is how you create a framework that is flexible. You can still enjoy the foods that you love, even those less healthy foods, but you're also on track to leading the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams in a sustainable way, right? This is not something that you can only do for a few weeks and then you crash off of it. This is realistic and sustainable. So that's today's message. Really, instead of focusing on how much should you be eating, focus on the quality of the foods and how you're making decisions in your environment. Click like if that's something you're into. And then next, you can watch The Serious Problem with Starting Diets: What Lifestyle Means. I got into a little rant on this a couple weeks ago, so you can hear more about what I'm talking about. I'll put that video right here. So that's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.